This is eye-wateringly expensive, but what a beautiful addition for your Vitamix. My E310 is almost 6 years old and the plastic container is getting cloudy. I use it all the time and I've started to make hot things, so I caved and I bought this after months of dithering. Heads up if you're in the UK, it's only compatible with classic Vitamixes. It won't run on the Smart System models. This stainless steel container feels really strong. Arnold strong. It weighs 1.7 kilos or 3.75 pounds and it is quite a bit heavier than the plastic version. Some people have mentioned that it doesn't blend as well as the plastic container, but I haven't found that at all. The inside is made entirely from stainless steel, so it's not going to stain or scratch easily. And if you blend nuts or seeds or turmeric, you might appreciate that. If you're here, you're possibly someone who's mindful about their exposure to plastic. I am, to a degree, but I have a brain that overthinks, so I've deliberately avoided doing a deep dive into microplastics. Some people are concerned about the plastic lid. It's the only bit where plastic may come into contact with your food. The protein shakes I make do splatter onto the lid, but they don't drip back into the container. And if they did, it wouldn't bother me. Another reviewer was concerned about the plastic tamper, and Vitamix replied saying that their tampers are made from polyethylene, which the FDA approved for food contact, and they are BPA free. I mostly make smoothies in it, which end up nicely chilled, but they did in my old container, as long as I used frozen fruit or ice. I've never made soup in my Vitamix until now. I thought I can't review the stainless steel container without making a soup, so here you go. Sweet potatoes, peppers and onions, plus a couple of garlic cloves. Oh, I burnt the garlic and can only salvage a bit. Into the Vitamix with a handful of cashew nuts and some veg stock. It's a bit of a squeeze. We need more stock and the tamper. Possibly even more stock, as this is a soup you can chew on. Looks all right. That's tasty. That was my neighbour collecting a parcel, and she has got the most wonderful dog called Clifford. He's like the colour of this soup, maybe a bit less orange, but he's just gorgeous. The spout has never dripped on me, not once, probably because the edge is a lot thinner than the plastic spouts and it is really satisfying to pour from. Maybe I shouldn't list this as a pro, but I mostly bought my E310 for its smaller size. I'm in a household of 2 and 1.4 litres is the perfect size for us. I am so pleased that the stainless steel container is the same size, but I can see in reviews that some people would prefer a larger version. Cleaning is the same for all the Vitamix containers. Add a drop of detergent and hot water and blend for a bit. Now, the container and lid are dishwasher safe, but I don't put them into the dishwasher. And that leads me on to the neutral points of this review. And by neutral, I mean they are more subjective or opinion-based. Not using the dishwasher is a personal decision and probably unjustified. I changed my mind on it after someone yelled at me, in a kind way, in the comments section of my E310 video review. They said that detergent will ruin the bearings, and I thought, really? But I do it all the time, it seems fine. I checked Reddit and found loads of people who use their dishwasher until their containers suddenly failed. Because this is so expensive, I am hoping it will last for donkey's years. So I hand wash it and immediately dry it up really thoroughly. It does mean that it takes longer to make a smoothie. And on one hand, that is annoying, but on the other, I like taking care of it. It is so beautiful and I would like it to stay that way. The blade makes it quite tricky to properly dry the bottom, but I do make an effort because stainless steel can rust. And I like the quote, it's stainless steel, not no stain steel. But when I'm really pushed for time, I just use my plastic container and put it in the dishwasher. The regular E310 lid does fit, but it leaves a small gap. Plus it gives you zero visibility unless you remove the plug. I want to list this as a con, but it is a personal preference. The handle is welded, not riveted. Rivets would make cleaning a bit more difficult. I can understand why Vitamix has gone for welding. It means that the inside of the container is completely smooth apart from the ridges. I know nothing about welding. I've read that it can be strong when done well, but I only half trust the handle. I hold the container by the body and the handle as much as possible. And also because I'm worried about dropping the container. I think the most likely way you'll break this is if you drop it, and that would be so painful. It's got laser-etched measurements on the inside, and mine are holding up well, but some reviewers have posted photos showing the numbers wearing off. People have questioned whether the numbers are actually laser-etched, and I will pop Vitamix's response on screen. They basically say that they use high temperatures to create the marks, and they don't add anything, so the marks are just stainless steel. On to the cons. It's expensive, wherever you are in the world, but especially in the UK. An Amazon reviewer called Jessica S said that it is cheaper to order through the US site, and I am so grateful to her for that. I paid £240 in total, and it arrived within 4 days. I used a price checker before buying, and I could see that the price doesn't fluctuate a lot in the US. If you ordered from Amazon UK, that price does jump around and it is a lot more expensive. I never considered any third-party models. They are not that cheap anyway, and there are too many cautionary tales on Reddit. The container squeaks when you power down the blender. Of course I googled. I found a helpful Reddit thread, and one person was like, oof, send it back. But someone else said that it eased up after a few months, and another person said that they own multiple containers and it is just the sound of the blade. And the blade is stiffer compared to my old container, but it has loosened up with use and the squeak isn't as loud anymore. The container works perfectly well, and the squeak is quite common, so I didn't have the heart to send it all the way back to the US, and the replacement might be no better anyway. The tamper that you get with this does not sit well however you place it, and it leaves gaps. A lot of people will buy this container to make hot food, so that seems like a big oversight. My old E310 tamper sits nicely, but it's quite a bit shorter. The thing is, if you own a different blender with a bigger container, your old tamper might not be compatible, so I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Someone on Amazon reported that their clips snapped off after just a few weeks. They do feel flimsy to me. Now, this might be controversial, but I don't clip the lid on. There is a rubber gasket around the edge, so I just press down on it until it sits flush with the container, and that works fine. I have not had any spills. This is obvious, but I didn't appreciate it until now. You can't see your food unless you look down through the lid. This bothers some people, but it doesn't bother me. However, I do now worry about accidentally blending a spoon, even though I never leave spoons in it. Do check the welding on your handle. Mine looks fine, but some reviewers have posted photos showing gaps between the container and the handle. The handle is hollow, so you really don't want food or liquid getting in there because it wouldn't be very hygienic. Some reviews mention that the container is quieter. I was excited by this as that is my main bugbear with the E310. I haven't measured the sound, but it's still horrifyingly loud at max speed, and I can just about stomach it at speed 6 to 7. It is no different to my old container. Would I replace it if it broke tomorrow? Yes, because I use it loads, but I would really begrudge it. I've seen lots of people say it's overpriced but worth it to me, and that is how I feel. When I looked at alternative blenders for my mum, because she would have struggled with the stiff lid on the E310, we ended up going for a Blendtec. They are great, and I thought I might get one myself one day. Because I've now purchased this, I've kind of wedded myself to Vitamix for the foreseeable. But after owning my E310 for nearly 6 years, I am okay with that. And if it ever does die, I would really like to replace it with an E520, and I never see anyone talk about that model. Do you own one? It looks great. That would basically be my dream setup. Classic blender, no smart chip, stainless steel container, and presets so I can turn it on and run away from the horrible noise. All done. Did I answer all of your questions? Do you have anything to add? Don't miss my Copycat Joe and the Juice protein shake videos. They are pretty much all I make in this, and they are great. Thank you for watching.